Enough, Kathy, from food processing to packaging, pharmaceuticals to defense, microelectronics to medical devices, Tampa Bay's manufacturers are a powerful engine within this region, and such diversity is certainly reflected on our panel today. I'd like you to first meet, to my left over here, Al Carlson, who's president and CEO of SunHydraulics. That's an international company headquartered in Sarasota. Thank you for joining us, sir. Ted Astolfi is with the Florida Manufacturing Extension Partnership, which provides assistance to small manufacturers throughout the state of Florida. We appreciate you being here. And Gary Havran is to my right. He's with NDH Medical. That's a medical device manufacturer based in St. Petersburg. Thank you all. We have another surprise guest coming in just a moment as soon as we get him mic'd up, another manufacturer, and I'll introduce him at that time. Gary, I didn't realize that, in fact, the St. Pete area is one of the leading regions for medical device manufacturing. How did that evolve? When did that start?
Okay, it started a number of years ago. The belief is that it came about because of the defense contracting in the area. So we had a lot of companies with advanced technology, used to government regulations, and very comfortable with all the tight tolerances and very tight requirements of medical devices.
So what kind of devices do you make? Is your company?
We're actually a contract manufacturer of single-use devices. So our core competency is making plastic tubing, and then for some of our customers, we take that all the way through to a finished sterile device that's ready to go to the patient.
Okay, so an IV tube or whatever would be an
Sure,
example
IV,
of that?
cardiovascular catheters, hemodialysis.
Okay, well, I don't want to use any of those today, if it's all right with you,
Sure.
at some point in my life, maybe not. Al, I want to go to you. I would say a more traditional form of manufacturing in that it's not a widget, it's hydraulics. So these are components that go into other people's products or equipment. Is that accurate?
That's correct. This is a piece of a hydraulic system, the part that controls the movement of a hydraulic device on a piece of equipment. For example, in Florida, you maybe have seen Florida Power and Light trucks, these bucket trucks that go around. It's our products that control that movement and control the position of a man in a bucket. But there are many, many other examples.
How long have you been in business, and why Sarasota as your base?
We were founded in 1970 in Sarasota, one employee at the time.
One?
One employee. In 1970, the founder started the company because his comment was, why wouldn't I start my company where I like to vacation? And so he started the company in 1970. Today we have 750 employees in Sarasota and about 1,000 around the world. 60% of our business today is outside the U.S. In places like China, Germany, Scandinavian countries. We export to those countries. We don't outsource. We actually provide them products for their end-use markets.
That's a nice switch. I like that.
It doesn't happen too often, no. but it's nice when it can happen.
What's unique or proprietary about your product?
Probably the depth and breadth of products, the reliability of the products. It's a higher end product in the marketplace. So we tend to appeal to people that are looking to have higher quality, higher performance, higher reliability, and prepared to pay a small premium to get that premium product.
If I may take a moment, we're going to introduce our next guest who is going to join us now. Rod Hershberger, come on down, come on in, and have a seat. There he is. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Frank.
Rod is actually the president and founder of another Sarasota-based company, PGT Industries, which makes impact resistant windows and doors. And depending on the weather is going to be that week, we might have wanted one of your products, certainly.
Right.
You are the largest private employer in Sarasota County. Is that correct?
I believe that's right.
1,200 employees?
Yeah, right now we're about 1,100 employees.
Mm-hmm.
At our peak, we were 2,600, and we suffered from the housing downturn, like I think almost everyone in the building industry did. But we've got a product that's perfect for Florida and really for the coastline.
And your company was founded when?
We were founded in 1980, and I heard Al talking about, why not manufacture where you enjoy living? Sarasota is one of the greatest spots in the country to live in. We're in Venice, which is a few miles from Sarasota. It's where our workforce is, and we serve the Florida market and the coast market. So this is perfect. There's 5 ports that we can hit within a day. We can ship overseas pretty easily, and our market's right here.
Now, you've refined the product over the years. When you started in 1980, it wasn't this product.
Yeah, in 1980, we had a porch enclosure product, and We went through Andrew like everybody else in 1992, and all the codes were rewritten. And we took a very active part in rewriting code and forming that code. We made the first impact window that was made in the country, and now we made the first R5. It's a really thermal efficient impact window about a year ago. So we've really tried to keep on that cutting edge of technology and make sure that we have the right product for the consumer.
So in reality, Hurricane Andrew really helped create a new industry.
Hurricane Andrew really changed the building industry completely. All new codes, all new standards, and we were part of that.
20 years ago. It was right after the Republican
Right.
Convention in 1992. Unbelievable. Ted Astolfi with the Florida Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So, tell me how, and you work with small and mid-sized manufacturers across the state of Florida. And so what are the challenges for manufacturers who want to move their company here or want to start their company here, and how do you help them out?
Well, we really deal with any growth issue a manufacturer has. We kind of see ourselves as a concierge to the manufacturers. Whatever their issues with their growth is, we can help them with. We have a broad range of resources we go to. We partner with universities, University of South Florida, University of Central Florida, University of North Florida, and others, to bring whatever resource we need to bring to bear to help that company. We have a mobile training program that trains people for manufacturing jobs in just 2 weeks. We do the recruitment and screening for them. We work with people like PGT in the past. We have a class going on right now in Tampa Bay. We do plant layout and design. We do lean manufacturing. So whatever the issues the company may need some assistance with, some expert engineering assistance, a lean transformation in their company to make them more efficient, we bring those resources to bear.
This is not a knock on the Northeast or the Midwest, but it's often referred to as the Rust Belt. Some cities have successfully reinvented themselves, but frankly, a lot of them have lost significant population in those traditional manufacturing jobs.
Right.
In Florida, it seems to me you have a lot of non-traditional manufacturing. Is that correct?
It is, and we have a real diversity of size of businesses. Most of the companies in Florida are 100 employees or less. We have some large companies here, which is very exciting. They're doing some fantastic things, especially with exporting products. And people don't think of Florida as a manufacturing state, and yet we've got over 15,000 manufacturers in the state of Florida. And the interesting part is this Tampa Bay region has over 10% of the manufacturers in the state of Florida right here in the Tampa Bay region.
That's impressive. Gary, I'll go back to you, and I want to ask about, in order to be a successful manufacturer, you have to have good people in your workforce. Have you found that to be easy to find, good workers, easy to find here in the Tampa Bay region?
Yes, we've had very good luck with our workforce here. I think like all manufacturers around the country, there's certainly a shortage of the technical and trade skilled people, but it's just as good here as it is anywhere in the country. And for people who want to work on the assembly line, it's very attractive to them as a career, and we've had very good luck in getting good employees who stay with the company for years and years.
You bring up a good point. We were talking earlier today about too few students at the collegiate level wanting to be engineers and scientists, but what you just made a skilled tradespeople in those areas. So it points out the fact that there are skilled workers needed who don't necessarily have to graduate from four-year universities. Am I right about that?
That's absolutely correct, and we've worked with, through St. Pete College, actually set up a national network for people to work in the medical device industry who would be the kind of high school +2 that could earn a very attractive living wage.
Mm-hmm. And so you aggressively recruit at places like St. Pete College, for
Yes.
example. Right. Gentlemen, I want to talk to both of you, too, about the quality of your workforce. Drawn locally primarily, I'm guessing that.
Yeah, that's correct. You know, what we look for in hiring new employees is the work ethic, the desire to want to do well, the desire to have lifelong learning. So we've got a number of our employees who have gone back to, you call it high school +2, certification programs, manufacturing certification, which we now have about 130 of our employees that have been with us for quite a while have gone back to receive their certification to become more skilled.
Do you support them financially to that end or not?
Yes, we do. We pay for the certification and we encourage them, and we make sure that the employees that go through the certification program, you know, are given opportunities for advancement within the company.
Right, I want to ask you the same question. I also want to give you an opportunity to sort of hold up your product, or I don't know how heavy it is. We want to at least get a shot of your product or products. But again, attracting good quality workers?
You know, if you go back about 10 years, I think there was a problem getting enough really well-educated workers in this area. That's changed pretty dramatically. I think the community colleges, the universities really listen to manufacturing and have prepared people for it. Technology has changed the face of manufacturing. And when you look at kind of a starting wage in manufacturing or starting job in manufacturing, it's no longer, you know, run a punch press and, you know, stick a piece of metal in it. You've got to be able to read the computer and download things and understand how all that works together. So Generation X, Generation Y, just a great workforce coming into the workplace now, because they understand, they've played with that since they were kids, and it makes it so easy for them now. And we're like Al. We do the same thing. We pay for our employees to get more education, and we'll send them back, whether it's just, you know, underwater basket weaving. We want them to get more education. We think that's good for the workplace.
Point to your product and tell us what makes it unique.
Product you're looking at here is a impact-resistant product. So that's the product that you can shoot 2x4s at. And then the 2x4 is really kind of the sexy test. But then right after that, you have to cycle it. So you're pumping it in and out. You're putting negative and positive pressures on it 9,000 times to make sure it withstands the forces of the storm. And you want to make sure that nothing comes inside that house. I mean, what we found after Andrew came through, that the windows would breach, pressure would come inside the house, and it would pop the roof off. Mm-hmm. So our goal is to make sure that none of that pressure comes inside the house, at least not through any of our windows and doors.
And it's better insulation as well, yes?
Much better insulation. Sound. It's interesting that everyone puts it in because they want to protect their house and its security. But then, because of the laminated glass and because of the way the product's made, they get great sound advances. And we actually had a person that went through Hurricane Wilma and said it went overnight and never found out when it went through because I didn't hear anything.
Amazing. We're running out of time. Just quickly, to summarize, it seems to me that to stay viable, and you would give this advice to any manufacturer in the state of Florida, stay relevant. Absolutely. Don't become outdated.
I think just as these two gentlemen have said, staying ahead of the curve on the technology is absolutely critical, and that's what industries in Florida are doing.
Make a product that people need and want.
I would also suggest that to be relevant, you have to be differentiated. If you have Me Too products, you're going to be competing with everybody in the world. And so differentiate yourself, whether it's within the products or the service. And I think PGT's done a great job of that.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate it very much. And next, the Safety Review at noon, right here on Front Row Tampa Bay.